Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build powerful rugby players. So if you want to run faster on the field, you want to hit people harder, you want to break more tackles, you want to make higher teams, then this video is for you. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Let's get into it. So first of all, you need to think about, okay, what attributes do powerful rugby players have? Okay, and this is how I think about doing my programming. Okay, what do my rugby players need that do my super player program and my maximum muscle program to give them the best chance of being fast on the field, having big legs, and just dominating on the field? And I just gave it away. But number one is having big legs. So if your training isn't converting to the field, or you feel like you're doing all this training, you're not getting that much better on the field, you're not getting the results you want, how's your leg training? Because your leg training is what is actually going to really help you out there. Because think about this, and you can actually look at some of the best, most dominant rugby players on the field, is they have one thing in common, is they have these big, powerful legs. Okay? So one, obviously, never skip leg day. But two, how can we train your legs so that you have big, powerful legs that make you faster, that don't make you slower, so that you're going to bust through more tackles? How can we do this for you? All right, and how do I do this for my players? Well, obviously, it's going to come down to the strength training, right? And obviously the nutrition with that. But today, we're going to talk about 3 of my best exercises. Actually, we're going to break down one of my best exercises that I use. So, my 3 best leg exercises that I really like are your high bar back squat, your snatch grip deadlift, and your Romanian deadlift. But today, I'm going to talk about the high bar back squat and what you can do to actually make it better. Okay, so there's one thing I want to get off my chest, is most people actually just keep doing the same old thing. They keep doing the same routine in the gym. And that's why they're not getting stronger. Because on the field, you actually need all these different attributes of strength. Okay, you need your absolute strength, you need your relative strength, you need your strength endurance. So you need to be able to actually be training all these different attributes. And then inside of those attributes, you actually need the muscles to be strong in different areas. Okay, so if you just do the one exercise or you're the same lot of exercises, they all hit the strength curve, or like where that muscle is strong, where that movement is strong in different areas. So you might just end up strong in one area rather than strong everywhere. Okay, and that's why it's really important to have a program so that every 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, you're changing up the stimulus so you get new adaptations and you're getting strong everywhere. You're not missing out on something. Okay, because that's the biggest thing I see, is people keep doing the same thing without changing the stimulus. And what does that mean? Then that means they're not going to convert to the field. They're not actually going to get heaps stronger on the field. They might get strong in one area, but not in all the others. Okay, so once again, we're talking about the legs, and we're talking about high bar back squats right now. So, high bar back squat, why do I like it? So, I like it because it's going to train the quads, it's going to train the glutes. Alright? It's also going to train everything else, like your lower back is actually going to get worked. Your core is going to have to be really strong, the more weight. We just had a camera failure, but we're back. So, our high bar back squat. How I train with my athletes. Okay, I know what most people come to me, they've just done generic programs, or they've just done generic things that they've done in the gym, and they usually haven't trained the way that I would train someone to become a professional athlete. Because that's what I want. I want to train guys, even if they don't want to become a professional athlete, as if they're going to become a professional athlete, so their body is best prepared for them on the field. Right? That way, the most powerful they can be, they can make as high a team, and they can enjoy their footy. Right? Because that's what it comes down to, is making high teams and enjoying your footy. Right? And if you train well, then that process becomes a lot easier. Okay, so what I know that most people haven't done is, one, usually they don't train to full range of motion. Okay, and that's why you'll see it if you watch my Instagram, my other YouTubes. You'll see me training guys to full range of motion. You'll see me training full range of motion. And that's not because I think it's the only way to train. It's because I know that most people haven't done it, so I want to show it off so more people do that. Okay? And now, and people are like, oh no, but like, I don't have the mobility for that, rah, rah. Look, I've had 6'8" guys, that had terrible mobility, that have taken their time over years to be able to get that mobility so they can do it properly. Now, it takes time and it takes a lot of effort, but that means that like when you get to that sort of mobility, you move so much better. Like you move so much more fluent. You feel better in your body. Your joints feel better. Everything starts to feel better. So what do? I actually start people with a high elevation, all right, under their heel, okay, which might look like a slant board or something like that. But what that means is that you're going to be able to use a lot more range of motion. Okay, some people worry, okay, am I going to get weak because I'm doing this? No, you're actually going to get stronger because you haven't done this. Right? You're going to get strong in different area of your legs, like your quadriceps are going to have to get a lot stronger to be able to keep yourself upright. Now, it's going to be a bit more like a front squat in that sort of way. Now, so I use a high elevation in the heel, and that way everyone can do it. And what I do is very slow eccentrics to start. So I like to do 5 seconds, and I like to do actually quite a long tempo. So we're actually trying to build muscle tissue by having quite a long time under tension. So like I'm talking like 8 to 12 reps in that range where I start them off, and it's like 5 seconds down. So that's a long time, which one, it means you can't use a shit ton of weight, okay? Because the weight will come. What we want to do is build new muscle tissue. We want to develop the body, make it ready so that you can then ultimately have more weight safer, okay? Number 2, we're going to develop the tendons. All right? Tendons take a lot of time to actually develop. All right? And so the slow tempo down is giving you the chance to actually develop, and it means the lighter weight is also going to give you even more of a chance. Now, the other thing about the slow eccentrics, most people haven't trained that. Right? And the eccentric is essentially like the lowering phase. Now, a lot of the time when you get hit in football, okay, someone runs into you, get hit, all right, you actually have to overcome their weight. Okay, so that is actually the eccentric portion. Okay, so if you are very strong eccentric in the eccentric phase, what you'll see is a carryover, you being able to handle a lot more people when they run into you. You're going to get less tired. So that's something I actually like to think about. It's like I like to build up people, the eccentric. It's also one of the fastest ways to build up someone is actually the eccentric strength. You actually get stronger there faster, which means that then if I get that stronger, your concentric can actually come up in the later phases. So like phase 2 and 3, I could then bring up that concentric strength, and you can get stronger faster. And that's what we want, right? We want to get stronger. We want to get we want to do it fast. We don't want to do it as slow. We want to do it as fast as we can. Okay, so there's this one variation of a back squat. Now, what else can we do? We can do pause squats, okay, where we pause down the bottom. When we take away like that spring that you have, all right, we have this thing called muscle elasticity. We can actually stop that because in the games, you're not always going to be able to use that, right? You are going to be coming from like a stationary position where you need to be able to drive out of that. And I've seen ample situations where footballers either they haven't had enough strength there, and because of that, like they'll miss tackles or they'll get knocked over. And then I've seen situations where some of the guys I've trained, and girls actually, where they've been really strong in those stretched positions. You really see it when like they get hit, and then they can overcome someone. So that's a really good thing, is getting strong in the pause. And then I like to use quarter squats. Okay, and like I don't show this off very often, but like quarter squats can be great. All right, and like people will go, oh, what's better, quarter squats, full squats? I get that question all the time, and it's neither. Both have their space. I'm not happy today; it keeps falling over. Anyway, so we have our quarter squats. The other thing is you can do is squats to pins, okay, which is like the weight's going to get taken off you, and then you're going to get that weight back on you and lift it back up. And I like to use that for quarter squats. I like to use it for half squats. There's lots of different ways you can use that. Then I actually like to do a squats fast, where you can only come up in under 1 second, which is quite quick if you've gone all the way down. Okay, which means it's going to limit how much load you can use, and it's going to make you fire up a bit faster. The other thing I like to use is bands on your squats, okay, which changes then the strength curve of the squat, okay. So like it's actually going to get harder as you're coming up, whereas usually it gets a bit easier. And then I like to use jump squats. Okay, so these are just like all the different variations here that I like to use my programs from just one simple exercise that's going to help build your legs. Okay, and here is the big thing that I see is people keep doing the same old thing. All right, they don't change their program. They follow one program over and over and over again, or they rock up to the gym with their mate and go, hey, we're going to do some squats, we're going to do some deadlifts, and we'll do some hammer curls, and that we'll get out of here. If you want to get better at football, right, if you want to feel better on the field, if you want to make higher teams, it's as simple as this, all right? Like, go and get yourself a good program. Go and get yourself a trainer if you need. Like, try my super player program or my maximum muscle program, whichever one suits you. One's more speed based, and maximum muscle is just about chucking on as much muscle as we can. Because you're going to learn so much, and like you're going to learn a lot about how you should change up your exercises, or at least the tempos on how you use that exercise. All right, and then how you can use that exercise with other exercises. Okay, so like I could do squats then into a broad jump or something like that, which is going to create an even new stimulus. Or I could go a broad jump into a squat, okay, which is a slightly different stimulus. So I use both of those as well. Okay, where you're using a plyometric into a heavy, or a heavy into a plyometric, which is really cool ways of training as well. But you just need to know, like, okay, what I'm trying to achieve out of this phase. Out of this 4 weeks, and then you just break up to it 3, 4 week or 5 week intervals or phases, and that's what I like to do, and that's how you're going to keep on yourself improving, and getting strong from all different angles. Okay, and that is the key. Is like rugby, you need to be strong from all different angles. You can't just be strong at one exercise in one particular way. Like, it's not powerlifting. Like, if it's bench press, like, you just got to bench press. There's one way you're going to do it. Like, you need to be really good at that way. Same as your deadlift, same as your squat. Although there's lots of different ways to actually get stronger at that, which is still true. It's just one skill, whereas rugby is not. Like, there are so many different attributes of, like, where you're going to stop and start, and, like, where you're going to get hit from. You need to be strong in different ways. Okay, so that's why I say, like, my programming is not powerlifting. It's different. Okay, it needs to be different. All right, the stimulus needs to be different. Like, if you just want a big squat, big bench press, big deadlift, like, sure, go for it. But like, that's not going to give you the biggest return out in the field. And like, if that's what you want, then okay, then that's why you're here, right? Because you want to get better on the field. So if you like this today, I hope this helped. There will be a part 2. I will start talking about upper body. I will start talking about more exercises in the legs. Today was just the high bar. Give it a like. Let me know what you think in comments. Ask me questions, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.